not good examples because we're talking multi-objective. But the Great Barrier Reef did a great job of actually putting an initial system in place. It took them a long time. Again, the Great Barrier Reef did not attempt to develop a management plan at the beginning of their process. They simply said, we're going to grab a couple of land use planners and we have some good ideas of how to protect the target, which was the coral reefs, not the system, but the coral reefs of the Great Barrier Reef. And they spent, I think, almost 10 years, but certainly more than 7 years, developing the Great Barrier Reef zoning system in a series of steps and sections. They monitored that particular outcome of all of their management measures, which again were primarily zones. And after 20 years of monitoring, they decided we're not meeting the objectives. We still see deterioration of a lot of the corals of the Great Barrier Reef, so something must be wrong. And they rethought that for a while. And they came up with something called the Representative Areas Program, which, again, I'm sure that some of you are familiar with that. The Representative Areas Program started from scratch. They said, what are the habitats that are important in the Great Barrier Reef? They identified, I think, 50, and then sort of squashed that down to 8 or 9 classes of habitats. And they said, that's what we should be protecting. We should be protecting representative habitats and not just the coral heads. So they have seagrasses and mangroves and other components of the coral system that they decided they had to protect as well. The initial outcome of the first plans was 5% protected areas of the Great Barrier Reef. And the Representative Areas Program, called the RAP, wound up being 35% of the Great Barrier Reef being strictly protected areas. Interestingly enough, the Great Barrier Reef also allows things like trawling in the Great Barrier Reef. So it is a multiple use area, it's not a multiple objective area. Okay, pull the plug. Good.
Phil, stay there. Just wanted to thank you very much, Bud, for your presentation, for being here for 2 days. He actually was here all day yesterday and was meeting with people, and this morning as well, and I really appreciate you coming all the way to Vancouver. Very informative talk. I think it's been very stimulating and thought-provoking for all of us. So a small token of our appreciation for coming here.
Thank you very much.
And also incentive to come back and so sometime. And I want to thank all of you for coming here today. Great questions. We do have some time. We have this room for a little while. There's some refreshments at the back, so please stay. If you want to ask Bud some direct questions.
Personal questions.
Personal questions.
No personal questions.
He's got lots of advice, that many years of experience. I'm sure he can help us all with our life. So thanks very much, everybody. I also just wanted to thank all the organizers of this event, and there's a number of people, and so just thank you for helping out putting this together.
Yes, and thank you all.